Family is supposed to protect you, stand by you, fight for you, even when the world doesn't. But what happens when the person who destroys you? Is it your own blood? My uncle didn't just take money. He didn't just take a business. He took something far more valuable: our name, our legacy, and my father's entire life's work. And for a long time, I thought we had lost everything. But I was wrong, because he made one mistake. He thought we would stay silent. He thought we would accept it. He thought there would be no consequences. That was his biggest mistake. If stories of betrayal and revenge keep you hooked, make sure you subscribe to the Revenge Files 396, because every story here reveals what people are truly capable of. Now dive into the story. Our family business wasn't just a source of income. It was history. It started with my grandfather, a small workshop, barely big enough to stand in. No money, no connections, just hard work. My father grew up inside that workshop. While other kids played outside, he was learning how to run a business. He didn't complain, because he believed in something bigger. And when my grandfather passed the business down, my father didn't just continue it. He expanded it, turned it into something respected, something stable, something we were proud of. And growing up, I saw everything: the long hours, the stress, the sacrifices. There were nights when my father came home exhausted, but still smiled at us. Because to him, this wasn't just business. This was family. And for years, everything was fine, until my uncle came back into our lives. My uncle was different from my father. Where my father was calm and honest, my uncle was sharp and always chasing more. He had been away for years, trying different businesses. Some failed, some worked. But when he returned, he came with confidence. Too much confidence. At first, it felt like a good thing. He helped with finances, suggested new ideas, talked about expansion. My father trusted him completely, because he was family, and that's exactly why it worked. Slowly, my uncle inserted himself into everything: bank decisions, client negotiations, contracts. He didn't take control all at once. He did it slowly, carefully, so no one would notice. And by the time we did, it was already too late. The first sign was small: a client complaint, then another, then delays in payments. At first, we thought it was normal, but something felt off. I started paying attention, looking at details that no one else noticed, numbers that didn't match, deals that didn't make sense. And then, I saw something I couldn't ignore: a transaction, large amount, transferred quietly, no explanation. That's when I started digging deeper. Late nights, checking records, comparing old data with new. And the deeper I went, the darker it got: hidden agreements, secret contracts, and finally, the truth: legal documents, signed quietly, giving him control. Not partial control, full control, over everything. I didn't confront him immediately. I showed my father first. He refused to believe it. How can my own brother do this? That question still echoes in my mind. But truth doesn't change just because it hurts. When we finally confronted my uncle, he didn't panic. He didn't deny it. He didn't even try to explain. He just looked at us, calm, and said, "This is business." That was it. No apology, no guilt, just those three words. And in that moment, everything broke. Not just the business, but the family. We lost everything. The business was no longer ours. My father, he was pushed out of the company he built. I watched him change. The man who never gave up looked defeated, silent. And that hurt more than losing money, because money can come back. But dignity? That's different. And in that moment, I made a decision. I wasn't going to fight him emotionally. I was going to fight him strategically. My uncle thought he had won, but he forgot something important. I had grown up inside that business. I knew everything, every system, every client, every weakness. And more importantly, I knew how he operated. Because while he was taking control, he was also making mistakes. Shortcuts, hidden deals, unethical decisions, things he thought no one would notice. But I did. So I started collecting everything. Quietly. No noise. No confrontation. Just evidence. Because revenge isn't about anger. It's about timing. A few months later, my uncle made his biggest move. Expansion. Big investors. New partnerships. He was aiming higher. And that's when I struck. I sent everything. Not publicly, but to the people who mattered. Proof. Clear. Undeniable. And just like that, everything started collapsing. Meetings canceled. Deals withdrawn. Trust destroyed. He didn't just lose money. He lost his name. And in business, That's everything. I didn't take the business back. Because some things are not meant to be reclaimed. They're meant to be lessons. Because in the end, family can betray you, but truth always wins. And when it does, it doesn't just hurt, it destroys.